All right, music fans, welcome back. It is Dave. It is the Real Music Observer, observing real music in real time for real people, just like you, right there, and yours truly right here. Want to thank those of you who've helped me out over on Patreon. During the summer months, I've noticed a bit of a drop-off in viewership and revenue. It's just, I guess it affects everybody during the summer months, and unless you're like a beach bikini channel or something, in which case your viewership probably goes up. In this case, if you'd like to help me out, I'm looking for just $1 a month. There's a little Patreon icon here on the YouTube page up on the right side toward the top, right where the banner is. If you click on that, that will give you what you need to become a Patreon person. And your support is much appreciated over there. I want to talk about Neal Schon. Neal Schon has made some statements recently as to why he does not want to record music with Journey right now. I'm sensing there's a bit of a divide between Neal and John Cain again. This time, though, it has to do with recording music. And Neal says basically this, that he wants to get in a room with everybody and hash out some new music the old-fashioned way, which I commend him for. I think that's the way bands ought to record albums, instead of doing these computer-generated albums with Pro Tools and, you know, all of these file swapping programs that are out there. Basically, somebody records a guitar part in one part of the world, and then someone else records the drums somewhere else. And what happens typically is that you get a very sterile-sounding type thing. On occasion, there are moments where this does work if the material is that good and it sort of just supersedes the lack of an organic creation. I think it can work, but I think Neal is trying to recapture the glory days of Journey, when everybody got in a room and somebody had a great idea, and then somebody was able to say, oh yeah, I have this guitar part that will work perfectly with your idea or suggestion. If you listen, which a lot of people have listened over and over to the explanation as to how, say, Don't Stop Believin' was recorded, you get the idea. You get the sense that these guys all had ideas, and basically it snowballs. You know, when somebody's being creative, typically that creativity gets bumped up a few notches when everybody else is in there. Sometimes it's ego too. These guys have egos and they want to be contributors to this process. They want to be left out. And I think it makes for a great recording process, and you can't really blame Neal for wanting to record that way. Where it kind of sounds like, you know, no offense to John Cain, I've tried to be nicer to him lately. Just look, it's you can't. So I disagree with some of the stuff that his wife does, but that's another video. But John has this tendency to, I think, sit down now and record these computer-generated solo albums, and I don't know. I think you can hear it in the recording process a little bit. Again, it's very sterile. It doesn't have that organic sound that I think John Cain is capable of producing. You know, it's just back in the day when Journey recorded those monster albums, whether it was Escape or Frontiers or even Raised on Radio, there was this recording element in there which you can't capture that nowadays if you're just using Pro Tools or you're using these programs that sort of put everything together for you. I think in the long run, if these guys are going to record, they ought to sit down and do it the way Neal wants to do it. All right, so that's my little video. In case you were wondering why Neal Schon didn't want to record new music, I think he does. He just doesn't want to do it. sort of, half-baked. He wants to go for the full, entire enchilada. All right, done. See you soon. Talk to you then.